Welcome to the Mystery School of Feminine Arts. From the magical island of Bali, this is Yana Good with the art of enchantment. I've always was fascinated by the powers of the greatest women that were able to conquer themselves, to conquer their fears, and to open up and to become the greatest women in this world. What secrets did they know? What journey did they have to undertake to become the kind of woman that would conquer the conqueror of the world? I looked into the story of Cleopatra. I studied geishas. I studied the greatest courtesans of Greece, of Rome, and I kept asking myself, what is it that the women of Russia of the ancient times knew that we have lost? What is this art of feminine enchantment that these women possessed, and where and how did they learn it? When I looked into Cleopatra, I was fascinated. The girl at 18 was already a queen of Egypt. And who made her the queen of Egypt? Her desire? Yes. But also, it was Caesar who helped her political agenda. It was Caesar, the emperor of Rome, that would take thousands of his warriors and 3 months to journey through the ocean, on the ships, through the land, to see her. Each time he wanted a date with the queen, he had to undertake a major ordeal to see her. And at the end, he put her in the ranks of goddesses by putting her statue in Rome next to Venus, by that deeply offending the Romans and using that as a reason to actually end his life. And then Mark Antonius, a beautiful young general of Caesar who fell in love with Cleopatra during the Caesar's courtship of her, he became the successor of Caesar, and yet now that he could, he gave his life and put his life at her feet as well, even though now she was not 18 anymore and she had a child. So there's also a legend that fascinated me, that men, after, if Cleopatra wanted to take on a lover, the men knew that after the first night with her, he would be fed to the crocodiles. So men, knowing that they would die, would still give their life for a time, a night, to share a space, to drink from the cup of pleasure that this magnificent woman has cultivated within herself and knew this art. It wasn't because she was extremely beautiful. In fact, the historical data indicates that she was rather ugly, quite unusual looking girl. But it is her inner power and her ability to gift the man the time and the space of infinite pleasure that made her so unique. Because if it was just a beautiful woman and sex that a man required, well, in the case of the emperor, he could have thousands of most beautiful virgin girls delivered to him, because at that time during the wars, the most beautiful girls were brought to them as slaves, and he could have his pick anytime, anywhere. And yet it was Cleopatra that he put his life at her feet. So when Cleopatra was 14 or 15, she went to a temple of love, and she asked the main priestess to teach her the art of conquering the conqueror of the world. When I was studying the life of Gutierrez, my favorite one is Thais of Athens. There was a beautiful historical novel about her. She was later the queen of Egypt as well, although she is from Athens, a poor girl from the village who at her early ages went to the school for guitarists, studied the arts, and later stole the heart of Ptolemy, who later became the king of Egypt, and was the lover of Alexander the Great and followed him through all of his journeys. And actually, she was responsible for burning at that time the city that was the capital of Persia. How could she inspire Alexander to burn the city? Because she required that. Well, if she wasn't cruel, there's a separate story about that. I was quite fascinated by why she did that. But what fascinated me is, what did these women have to inspire the greatest men to go through history and endanger their life for the desire and the inspiration that these particular women would require, would inspire them to do. When I studied geishas and their art, a geisha is a person of art. She would not offer the man any sexual energy at all. She's covered head to toe in her beautiful kimono. So why would men in Japan pay an enormous amount of money for a tea ceremony, for a time with geisha, and they wouldn't start any business? The emperor, the elite of Japan, they wouldn't start any major project, any artistic or business project without having a meeting and a consultation. Not a consultation, but to have a time and space with geisha. Again, the art of geisha will take almost 20 years to actually polish and to practice. What made all of these women unique is the fact that they would go at a young age, they would study the art of love. They would study the art of the feminine and the masculine energy. They would awaken all of their powers, their sexuality, their sensuality, their ability to be sensually present with love. No fears, no limitations, no blocks. That's what made them so special. Being in the presence of a blooming sensuality, of a woman that is open as a magnificent flower and emanates her aroma, is the most unique and magical experience. Knowing the art of how men operate and understanding the power of the four elements, the water, the fire, the air, and the earth. Understanding how the yin and the yang works. Understanding that the man is the fire and the air. This is what fuels his up. Anything that he desires, he has to feel the fire. He has to get it up, so to speak. He has to get ignited and excited so that he would have the power and the desire to do something. That's how a man operates. And then that desire goes into his brain, and then the air element kicks in, and his mind finds the ways to accomplish and to receive and to conquer whatever it is that he desires. Is that how the woman operates? In the modern world, yes. Now the women have been taught to survive in this masculine world, to feel like a man, to think like a man, to act like a man, to function like a man, yet to look like a woman. She is taught to wear high heels and push-up bras and lots of makeup. All of that to simply imitate sexual arousal. You see, when monkeys, for example, fall in love or get sexual arousal, their legs become longer. So that's a signal to the man that she's ready for sexual encounter. So women are wearing high heels nowadays to imitate longer legs. when a woman gets orgasmically excited and she's opening up in her feminine flower, the blood rushes and her lips become red. So now what we wear, a red lipstick. So everything in this industry, in the modern industry, is designed like the drops to put into your eyes to have them more watery, so to speak. Everything is done to teach a woman to become a fake external imitation of the goddess of love. But see, in the past, those great women, they learned how to use the power of the elements, the power of earth and the power of water, how to become orgasmic and filled up, and how to bloom it within themselves so that they emanate this energy of sensuality, sexuality, of open heart, of total presence. You see, God has created a woman as an instrument of love, of pleasure, of transformation and transmutation of energy for the man. Where does all of that happen? All of that happens in the woman's womb. You see, woman, it's a man with a womb. And within each woman, there is an inner man and there is an inner woman. In fact, two hemispheres. The logical one, I call it the masculine hemisphere, and the feminine, the sensual one. The greatest women were taught to work from the sensual hemisphere, the feminine hemisphere. So that is what art of enchantment is about. How do we tap into this inner woman, into this inner feminine energy? How do we bring it back up and learn how to work it in a relationship? You see, never in the past, a man, even a man, would always be trained for anything that he wants to become a master of, right? So for example, in the past in Rome, they would never pick up a man and throw him in front of the lions to become a gladiator and to fight. I mean, his chances for survival would be less than 30 seconds. But if a man trained as a gladiator to understand how the lions act, behave, their energy, and trained his body and his mind to survive in such a condition, so they actually had a chance to win for a couple of fights, right? So why do the modern women think nowadays that they can be at 16 or 15, or the moment their sexuality starts to awaken, be thrown into the world of men, or get married as a virgin at 22 or 25? I don't care how old you are, it doesn't matter. To be thrown to the man thinking that it's a man that is going to be your teacher in the art of love. Where did he get this training? And what is his purpose? The man is coming to receive from you. The man is coming to be drowned in you. The man is coming to experience magic through you. He is not your healer. He is not a social worker. He is not a fixer of things. He is not your teacher. This is the plague of the modern women, thinking that it's the man that will come into your life and awaken your love. That when you meet that perfect man who is worthy of your love, then you will love him and live happily ever after. And how is that working for us? Does it? No matter how beautiful a woman is, like the most beautiful actresses in Hollywood that make 20 million a movie, so they have it all, the fame, the looks, the youth, all of it. Are they immune from having divorces and challenges in the relationship? They're not, because we have lost this art. We have lost the understanding that as long as you think you can do it yourself, that is your inner man speaking. The woman cannot do it herself. The women of the past went to the other women that have mastered the art. They have studied it. They have practiced it. They have embodied the power of the elements, and only then they presented themselves to the man and tried to build a relationship based on the art of feminine enchantment. So that's what I've studied. That's what I wanted to discover for myself. And I realized if God has created me as a woman and I have a womb and I feel most alive, awake, and ignited and connected to God when I'm in a space of, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Only when the sexual energy is rising up through the womb to the heart and higher, I connect to my Creator, and only then I become one with the universe. You see, our sexual energy is the key to our spiritual energy, because there's no such thing as spiritual or sexual energy. In fact, all energy in its nature is sexual. Why? If you take absolutely anything in nature and you start breaking it down to the smallest parts, you're going to come to an atom. And the atom consists of two small parts. I think it's called proton and neuron. The plus and minus. And what happens when you have a plus and a minus? When you bring it together, boom, it comes together, right? So, but if you bring a plus and you try to push it together at a certain point, try this with the magnets, you will see how the field of resistance will be built and will start pushing it away. So in nowadays, the women that are working in their inner masculine, they're running on the energy of fire. They're producing a hormone called testosterone. And then when they're in the presence of men, this is what happens. He cannot fully love you. Why? Because he cannot fall in love with you. What is falling in love means? Imagine like you're diving into the pool of water with your head on, and then you're gliding through it and dissolving. And when you're fully laying in the water, especially if it's in the ocean or sea or lake or river, where it's not just a pool, not a still water, but a real water, and you feel the energy of this element charging you up, there comes a moment, if you surrender to the power of this element, where you have no boundaries anymore, where you melt and dissolve in the water. So that is what really happens when a man falling in love with a woman. He wants to feel himself completely lost in your paradise, lost in your pleasure. And as you know, the greatest rule of love is to give pleasure, you must know pleasure. But you see, how do you know pleasure? You must feel it. And where do all the feelings of the woman lie? They lie in her womb. So after dedicating myself for 7 years studying this art, I have decided that it's time to share. For a few years now, I've been sharing with women the power of their sensuality, healing, clearing, and awakening their womb, teaching them how to work with the 4 elements, and healing their mind from the traumas of the childhood, from the traumas and the programs. I'm not beautiful enough, I'm not good enough, I don't deserve love, I don't believe in love, or I want the man to be my teacher and awaken me to love. So now is the time to share this incredible knowledge with all of you. So the School of Mystery Arts was created because if a woman thinks that she can only do one program and she is complete, she is utterly mistaken. Only if you go and open up all over your 3 power centers, your power of sensuality, heal your womb, your power of sexuality, heal yourself from all the blockages or all the past access of sexuality, learn how to generate this energy in the feminine flow. Most women have not even experienced a true water orgasm. They don't know how to generate the hormone estrogen at their will at every day. And I can do it in 30 seconds, sometimes less than a minute. I can turn on my magnet and I can fill myself up with this water orgasmic energy running through my whole body. Why is this so important? Why is this skill is incredibly important? Because it's the hormone estrogen that is the feminine hormone. It is responsible for beautiful skin, for lustrous hair, for the roundness of your breasts, and just for the feminine shape of your body. It is responsible for you feeling happy and feminine. So this is the hormone that every single day you have to activate in your body. And the older you become, the more you have to activate it, right? So there's also hormone progesterone, and that's the one that we create in the cervical orgasm, when I call it the womb orgasm, a full womb experience. So this is something that you need to know and awaken yourself with every morning when you study the womb cleansing program. At the end of it, I share with you how to awaken your womb each morning and how to fill it up with this orgasmic energy. So this is the steps that I encourage you to enroll in the school. The membership is free. You will receive a very special gift from me right away. The most amazing trance meditation I've created. It's called I Am Beautiful. Because for a woman to feel lovable, she must feel beautiful. So this is the trance meditation that I gift to you. And the first step in this school you have to go through is the womb cleansing, womb healing program. I believe every woman should do it. I have worked with the women that are a virgin from 19, 21, with the women that are 72 years old, with the women that are healers, that have done 20 years of personal and spiritual awakening and development, women that practice pranayama and that are yoga teachers. None of that helps you to connect to your woman, to your womb. None of those practices will bring you into your womb and heal you and allow you to actually release all those fears, all those negative emotions. The womb healing program is my golden gift to you. It's the most important program you can ever gift yourself to. After you complete it, the second step is the power of the 4 elements, where we actually work on your power of sexuality through the elementals. How you can fill yourself up every day with the power of the water, with the power of the earth, with the fire and the air. In this program, you will learn how to become the muse, how to inspire your man through the energy of love. You will learn how to walk like a geisha, how to float like a waterfall. You will learn how to connect to the Mother Earth and become confident and rooted. It's a magnificent program, but you can only do it after you did a womb healing program, because the sexual energy, your kundalini, arises and it goes into your second chakra, into your womb. And here is the water element. in the waters, in your emotions, here where everything is born. The life is born in the womb. The man is born from the womb. The woman is born from the womb. The womb is the center of your power. So only by healing it and activating it, and later learning how to fill it up every day through the rituals of love, only then that energy can go into your third chakra, activating the fire within you. And then what is the alchemy? When the fire hits the water, what happens? It becomes a vapor. And this vapor, this energy then travels into your heart. And here you can bloom your flower of love. Your heart is open only and emanates love only to the degree of the power of your sexual energy rising through your pure womb. See, making your womb like a crystal clear cup, bringing it to this virgin state is your key to opening up your heart. And so the third program, the third step, is the mystical trance meditations for women. I call them enchanting meditations for women. I've created seven of them. It's like fairy tales. It's a step by step by step. They work with your feminine hemisphere. It's actually your right one. What do you need every morning? You need to awaken in your feminine energetics, not awaken in your masculine, turning on your brain. What do I need to do? Thinking logically and so forth. First thing, you need to awaken your sensuality, awaken your feeling as a woman, feeling yourself up with love, feeling yourself up with an orgasmic enchantment. So then the whole day you can actually be charged up and flow with that. So the third step is the mystical meditations. Doing them every day will allow you to actually have the fastest transformation. But they are working only when you have the energy. When your energy is pure, then this energy you can now use to create whatever it is you want in your life. Whether it is beauty, whether you're working with the energy of beauty and the I am beautiful meditation, whether you're working with the energy of love and I am love meditation, or with I am orgasmic meditation, or I am abundant meditation. Every night I encourage you to fall in love with the I am the moon meditation, feeling yourself up at night with the energy of the moon, with the energy of the moon, filling your womb with the energy of the moon. So if you go through these three programs, three steps, what will happen is your hormones will change in your body. Your thoughts will change. Your ability to feel yourself, receive yourself will completely be transformed. And when women tell me, I'm working on myself, I'm always fascinated by like what does that mean? How are you working on yourself? Like, what is it that you do? Like, what if I do yoga every day and stretch my body a certain way, I'm gonna feel more feminine? What is it that you need to do to feel orgasmic, excited, and nourished, and sensually present, and spiritually awakened? How do you work on yourself? What is it you do? Pranayama breathing, sitting and breathing for a while? Like, how is that? It's not connected. So these three programs, step by step, actually allow you to work within yourself with the power of sensuality, sexuality, and pure love. Only activating these three power centers, you actually become whole and complete. This is the tools to help you become balanced and harmonious. So once you go through these three steps, what's next? Then you can come to me to Bali and to choose one of the 4 magical retreats I have for you. And in each of the retreats, we're going to go deeper into one of the elements, into certain qualities, because geishas took 20 years to polish the art. All the women of the past would study for years to actually learn the art, how to move the energy in their body, how to connect to the man, inspire him, how to transform his negative energy into positive energy, how to raise his fire, how to help him to accomplish all of his dreams by utilizing the forces of the elements. Just recently, I was invited by a friend to come and learn the art of the abundance or something like that. He wanted to teach me to be part of the group that is studying how to become a millionaire. I laughed. I don't need that. First of all, I know the rules of the marketing and so forth because I built a $5 million business in network marketing industry. Within 1 year, I had $1 million business. In 3 years, it was a $5 million business. And I was utilizing spiritual feminine principles of not working hard. So I was like, no, I know how that part works. But you see, I know the art of if my man has a dream and he shares with me what it is he wants to accomplish, whether it is tomorrow or in his business, I will use the art of geisha to take his dream, to fuel it up inside of my womb, to activate the forces of whatever it is necessary for this particular dream. I will know if I need the fire element, the water, or the earth to fuel it up and then make it a reality. First, in the inner, invisible world, because it is from the inner that everything comes into the real. It's what's inside is what is outside. It is what I meditate upon, what I connect and sensually feel, what it is I desire inside of me, not in the ego, but inside of me. That is what becomes a reality. And it is this energy of love that enfolds it, fuels it, and makes it real. That's how dreams come true. That is the process. And so after a woman has done a womb cleansing, then she can come to a retreat with me and I can teach her this magical art. And in fact, the truth is that only in the presence of a woman you can learn what the feminine energy is. Because only when we are actually when we actually feel this energy rise within us and we are ourselves touched by magic, only then we can give this magic to our beloved, to the world. So, I have created a series of videos for each program for you, and I encourage you to watch the video for the womb healing program and learn how exactly it works and what you need to do. I encourage you to do this program as soon as possible because everything in your life will start changing. The money will come, your relationship will change, your feminine health will be affected, it will shift for the better. And just go step by step and then watch how the world fall in love with you, how money, abundance, adoration, respect, and support of men, of children, of women, everything will start shifting in a positive towards you when you inside of you awaken your feminine energy. Being a woman is an art, and I welcome you into the School of Feminine Arts, and I cannot wait to meet you in life in one of my retreats. And if you watch my videos, please leave your comments. You can connect to me to social media. And if you have questions, I welcome them as well. I also do private healing sessions occasionally if I feel it's necessary and required. So welcome into the Mystery School of Feminine Arts, and let the process of mystery and magic begin. And let us drink from the cup of pleasure, joy, and infinite abundance of love.